Welcome back to video 3 now. In this video, we are going to look at billing. We're going to implement Stripe and what that entails. And we're also going to look at API key and encryption storage. I'll put some of the fancy stuff here. Getting good at it now, I think. So, yeah, let's go over. Let's talk to Claude. Let's get this done. And we'll move on to the next steps afterwards. Cheers, guys. Okay, welcome back. We have got to creating the hub. We've now got authentication. I've also created the admin role. We are looking at storing the API keys, which is going to be a big part of the service because we are doing bring your own keys, right? So we're building tools. You bring your own API key, whether that's OpenAPI, Claude, whichever ones, and you can determine how much tokens you use and stuff. I'm trying to give people the tools, but also give them the ability to make sure that they're not overspending and stuff like that. Try and keep it as cheap as possible. We're currently 1 hour and 20 minutes into the build. So we're going to restart. We're going to start the timer again, and then we'll get going. Cool. So over to Claude, as always. And today we are going to focus on the settings of the hub. Please walk through how we can store the API keys securely. I don't want to be able to see any of them. They need to be encrypted and secure. Right, I'm going to pause. It's just not rated here, so you probably can hear it all in the background, but let me pause and we'll move somewhere where you'll be able to hear me a bit better. Okay, we're back. And Claude's come back, which is a good timing, but I'm out of my, what we call a conservatory. So you might hear a bit of rain, but won't be as bad. Cool. So it said that there's 3 things that we need to worry about. External attackers, of course, future contributors, and you browsing the databases in myself. What we cannot protect against is anyone with a shell access to the production runtime Vercel environment variables. Obviously, they're secrets that need to be kept secret. And the user themselves who typed it in, obviously they can get their code back if they wanted to. So the design is app level. It's envelope encryption, so the standard random master key that lives only in the server side environment. So whatever the encryption key is. Never in the database, never in the browser bundles, never logged. Perfect. Authenticated encryption. Any tampering breaks the encryption. No ships it natively, and every major audit recommends it for this use case. So it's very highly recommended and very useful. What I'll see in the database: ID, user, provider, label, hint, encrypted, and then created at. Okay, so they're adding more bits into the table, or adding a new table by the looks of it. Layers will have HTTPS, RLS, app level, audit log, never fetch policy, generate the 32 random bit base 64. Yep. So you run that in your terminal. I will do that separately to get the 32 base encryption code. I won't do it on screen for obvious reasons. Paste it in the environment local. And this will also be required for your environment variables when we deploy this to Vercel. So I'll show you that as well. We can also wrap this text in vault.create secret, so an attacker would need both the key and the vault access. I'd skip for V1. It adds complexity. The AS level alone already gives you the property you asked for. Okay. So it's created a migration, so let's go and have a look what it's created. Oh no, it hasn't, sorry. It was telling me what it would build. Okay, because it's discussing it. So app level, what we get is the right trade-off for V1. Single share cake across all users or per user. Per user makes rotation cheaper and limited blast radius if one key were ever briefly exposed in memory. Cost of one extra table plus one time. For V1, I'd start with share key and add per user deck if when we need them. Give them the green light on both and I'll build or push back. Happy to discuss. Add US KMS path if you'd rather start there. Single shared cake across all users or per user DEK wrapped by cake. Okay, so I'm going to go with app level. App level is fine. And I want to build the per user deck version. Please build this now. Cool. So as we always do, I will pause for now and then I'll come back to you when Claude has done his thing. Okay, and we are back. Claude's done his thing and it's built all sorts of stuff. Verified working, the whole ball is ready to flip on. You can't see anything, open Supabase as a project, I'm going to select. Okay, right. So it has built my API key migration now. So as we did before, we're going to go over to Supabase, go to the SQL, paste that in. All right, and that's done its thing. And now we have the API keys table, the API key access log, and user dex UKs. Per user, each user has their own 32-bit data encryption key. Users can only see their own rows because it's RLS. The deck itself is encrypted with a master key that lives on the only in the server environment variables, which is the code that they gave us at the top, the script. The UI list shows never full key, so that's like the trimmed version. Every decrypt writer wrote to API key access log with timestamp and tool slug so that we know what's been used and when. That buffer is filled with zeros after every use. Best effort. The crypto plus vault files especially cannot be imported into client bundles. Perfect. So the you can't see them guarantee concretely. So if I go here, I won't be able to see it to decrypt anything. You'll need the main environment variable. Perfect. Okay, so here's the code, which I'll copy. I will run that in the terminal in a minute and add it to the environment variables. And that's all we need to do for this. So let me pause and do that because I don't want you to see it. Okay, so here's what it asked me to run. I've got a different one to that, but that's what you should get, and then you can paste that in and use that as your key. Mine is not that one, but you get the gist. Okay, so it wants me to run that again on another server. That's fine. So if I just ask it to kill the dev, it will kill it for me. And then how tools will be read the key when they shipped. It gives you this get credentials. Perfect. Okay, so we're just going to kill the key. And then kill the key, kill the dev server, and then we'll start the server manually over here. Perfect. Router action dispatch before initialization. Okay. Then if I go to here. Should work. Should have API key. And I should be able to add in different ones. So let's just say cool. It's never been used. Looks like that. You can delete it. You can't edit it. Awesome. So then if I go over to the table, there should be an API key in there. I shouldn't be able to see it. No, I can't. There's the encryption. Perfect. And then user Dex to get their own one. Yep. And there you go. And what version it's been on. Dream. Okay. So now we have a secure way to save, for people to save their API keys. If I delete that, that's deleted. And that's deleted from the table. Perfect. It's giving me exactly what I wanted. Okay. So now that we can store API keys, which is really good, we go back to settings. We want to have account, we've done. API keys, we've done. Security, it hasn't done. So let's go back to Claude and say, now we have the API audit logs. Can we make sure the settings page 4, what does it call it? Security is working and can show the logs / usage of tools. So that's going to give us like an audit log of when the API key has been used and in what tool we've used it in, so we can keep a track of on what we're doing and when. We'll get back when Claude's got back to us. Okay, we're back. So as you can see, it tried to preview it, but because we've got login now, it can't actually get there. And it was like, oh, it doesn't work, but it does. It's just can't get there. So what it's done is updated the settings and security URL. So if we go and have a look at it now, should open up. Yep, and it gives you the activity based on what your API has been doing. So pretty good. So stats row, forecast, total access. It gives you, don't need anything in terms of the table editor. Table name, tool name, sorry. The provider badge / key label / hint, relative time, and timestamp hover. Okay, cool. Phase 7 tools will call, which already was in the audit row. Build 13 routes, secures pages, dynamic, no tier server, dev server, cool. So that's that bit working, right? So now we need to move on to billing. So we're going to use Stripe for this, right? So we go over here and say, let's move to billing now. The user has to sign up via the billing tab and won't be able to access the tools without signing up. This will be via Stripe, and we want the user to be able to manage and cancel at any time. I don't want users feeling trapped. So it's like, I think we all know that sometimes you have to like email someone or call up to cancel. Oh God, it's the worst. So I don't want any of that. I just want, if someone wants to cancel, they can just cancel. They'll lose access to the tools, but I want them to cancel it whenever they want. I don't want them feeling trapped like you do with some tools. Okay, we're back in action. So spent a bit of time doing that. Let's come through this path of this architecture. Subscription table and RLS read only for users, admin read all. Got an SQL for Supabase. Security define a webhook upset subscription only callable by first request role. Same SQL file. Stripe client, lazy singleton. Get current subscription, billing page, webhook handler. Paywall. The not trapped promise concretely. So cancellation is 2 clicks inside Stripe's hosted portal. That's what we want. Cancel at period end true. Perfect. Okay. So Stripe set dashboard products, add a product, £3 for current month. After creation, get the price ID. Okay, so I have already done that. Here it is. And then if I go here, that's your price ID. And then after creation, copy the price ID. That's the Stripe price ID membership. Go to developers, API keys, test mode is fine. Copy the secret key in here. Okay, let's do that. So we need to get developer API key, and then we need to do brew install and a separate tab alongside the. Okay. So if we install, actually, it's going to get developer key first. So I've got the price ID. I've put that in here. We've got the subscription table that we need to add to Supabase. So if we go over here, mix that in, and that should give us the tables that we need for subscriptions. There we go. And now we need to go to here and look for developers, API keys. Okay. So we're going to go in there. Go test mode is fine. I don't want test mode. I want to actually do it properly. And the publishable key, if you want it client side, optional for now. Or test mode is fine. Copy the secret key. Restricted key stand. I'm going to create one. Parallel integration you built includes your website. Okay, yeah. You know what? Let's just make one. Yeah. So send your verification email to set one up. I'll just do it on my phone because it's easier. No, I won't. I'll do it on here because apparently it's not easier. Verify my identity. Verified identity. I need authentication app. Where am I? Oh, there. So. That's going to be okay. Okay. So obviously going to redact this. But that's that done. Then if I go over here and put that in to here. Okay, I will redact that. We then want to take the top two. Go over to our terminal. Install and then Stripe login. which will probably open up your browser, I assume. Yep. And then okay, so that's that. And then a separate terminal alongside your npm run dev. So we'll open that. All right, the client printer, signing secret on startup, paste it into that as the Stripe webhook secret for production. Okay, yeah, so it's saying when we set it up in production, we're going to have to change the endpoint to be the Vercel one, which is fine. But for now, we're testing it. So you take this and you put that in here. Save that. You should have. Yep. Haven't done the database URL. Let's see if it works without it. We started those and test the flow. Okay, so let's see what happens. Uh, 657. Okay. Let's see how that gets on. Billing looks better. Start a membership. Nice. Okay. Okay. That looks good. I'll go back. Check out cancel, no charge made. You start giving a view in day. If I go to settings, billings, does it take me to that page? Okay. Awesome. That looks good. That stopped. 10 minutes. That looks good. I think what I'm going to do next is get this deployed onto Vercel so that we can put the environment configs in properly and start testing it in a live environment. So what I'm going to do is I'll do another video, I think, on getting that up and running, so that you guys can see what that looks like. But today we've done the billing and we've done the storage of the API keys, which is really, really good. So let's pause this here and we will continue with the build, deploying it to Vercel and then building on it from there. Thank you, everyone. Oh, and please subscribe, follow, get involved, and I want to hear your thoughts about everything. Cheers all.